Hey folks, it is a beautiful day today. It is gorgeous. I think it was 56 degrees when I checked the temperature a few minutes ago. 56. Spring. It looks like springtime weather. And you'd think that if it wasn't for all the barren trees and the snowplow over yonder, just sitting, not been used. We haven't had a bit of snow. None. Which is disappointing to me. I love the snow. And we usually don't really get any snow in our area till January, typically. But we've had none. I think I seen maybe a few flurries one day last week, literally a few flurries. And that was just up at our house. And that's only because we're a little bit more of an incline in elevation. So once I got to the foot of our road to the main road, there was another one. But yeah, it's a nice day. I had my coat on and I had to take that off. I was sweltering. It's nice. I do not want to have to work today. I do not want to have to go to the office after this, but it is what it is. I posted my unboxing of Pharmacy the other day. Hopefully you guys have seen that. I'm very excited about that. I'm still learning about it. I've got some folks looking in some products. I'm hoping to perhaps get a line of things that I can set up out and sell. I'm going to see about trying to get some in a local salon. Actually, the salon I go get my hair done in, so we'll see how that goes. So that's going. It's a slow progression, but that's fine with me. I don't care if it goes slow, just as long as it gets there and it stays there, because that's still my goal. Let's see what else. Oh, new semester at school started for the kids. Well, really for Levi. Garrett's didn't really change. He did go into another little classroom where he's actually fully going into it soon, where he will be out of the early intervention, more into a general pre-K program. So hopefully that works out well. There's a lot of other kids in that classroom, but he's been making transitions into that for the last several months. So hopefully that goes well. But yeah, so Levi has PE this semester, which means he has driver's ed. We have been on his case. Well, not really on his case. I mean, we've been encouraging him, but about getting his learner's permit. And he was all for it up until a year ago when the year came up that, hey, this is your year. This is when you can do this. And he didn't want to do it anymore. And I don't know if you all out there, if you have teenagers, if they're this way, or if yours were excited and have been excited for the last 5 years, because that's the way he has been. That's all he had talked about. And all of a sudden, he just didn't care anymore. He didn't have any interest, which, if he doesn't, he doesn't. And, like I've said before, he is on the spectrum, autism spectrum. So, we don't anticipate him driving long distances ever, but, we do know that he has the potential to be able to, motivate around town. And if he wants to go to Walmart and look around, that he can drive himself there and back home and, safely. Or if he wants to go to McDonald's, he can do that. Or if he wants to go to the church or whatever, that he can do those things locally. He can do local things. But I don't know what changed his mind. I mean, we were in a significant car wreck several years back, but even after that, he was still, once he got older, he still wanted to drive. And then, like I say, all of a sudden he didn't. So I don't know what changed. And he didn't want to hear about it. He didn't want to discuss it. He didn't want to look even at the book. I picked him up a manual from our DMV, and they can do special accommodations in case, anybody's watching that has a special needs child. They will do accommodations at the DMV to support your child in being able to pass a learner's test. You have to, make appointments and, set things up in advance. You can't just go over on a Saturday morning and say, hey, I want to do this, and my kid's here now to do it. So you do have to plan it, but, they will do that. So I looked into all that, was prepared to do that, and then he got the book and shoved it in his dresser drawer and went and dug it out again. I'd take it out, lay it on his dresser, I'd come back in an hour, it'd be shoved back in the drawer. So, yeah, I don't know about that, but he does have PE this semester, and which means he will learn to drive whether he wants to or not, because driver's ed in his grade that he's in, 10th grade, is built into the physical education course. So, I don't know. I'm excited for him. I hope he gets excited. But I'm a little worried and nervous for the instructor. So, I don't know. He's driven, our side-by-side some, and things like that. We've let him be behind the wheel with, like sitting on somebody's lap before to drive and that kind of thing. We've let him park the mower a few times, but he's never really driven a car. So I don't know how that's gonna go. But he's brilliant in so many ways, and I have no doubts that he will succeed as long as he thinks he will. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted on the progress of that. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, it's just wild to think we've already started the new semester, and it's just going to be a few months till, it's summer break again. And then when he goes back, he's going to be a junior. So my days with him are getting a little less and a little less. So, I mean, he's probably not going to turn 18 and graduate and move away, which is okay. I mean, he's probably still going to be at home for quite a while, but still, I can tell, now that he's 16, that there's definitely a whole lot more of that teenager mannerism going on. Like, the relationship between me and him is changing. And not so much in a negative way, but he doesn't need me as much anymore, which is good. That's the way it's supposed to be. And he wants his independence, and he wants to do things on his own and make his own decisions about how he spends his time, how he spends his money. So we got him a wallet this Christmas as one of his Christmas presents, so he could manage his money better, because when he wants to go buy something, he gets his money out of his bank in his room and crumbles it up in his hand basically and shoves it in his pocket, and it's all crumpled, and so when he goes to pull anything out of his pocket, he loses everything. So we felt like he was old enough, mature enough to carry his money in a wallet, so that's what he does now. And that seemed to really excite him to get that when he opened it, because anything that he gets lately, I've noticed, and that gives him more independence or promotes his growth towards manhood, I guess, is just, it just thrills him, and he just loves it. So he really liked that. So we're seeing how things go. We want him to be able to be more involved, in what's going on with him, more than he ever has been. We've always tried to let him have a say, but we always had to do what we knew was best. So we're trying to let him be more in control as much as we can. So, and that's that. But yeah, I mean, parenthood is not for the faint of heart. So raising kids is not easy regardless, but when you throw in special needs kids, it's a different ball game. So, I'm proud of us for making it this far and doing as good as we're doing. I mean, definitely. Garrett's doing good. He's currently sick with an ear infection, but we haven't had any more seizures since November. I think it was November. We had to go back to the neurologist, and that's when he had 2 that day. So far, so good. There's been some situations that were questionable that happened at school. Check my time. I have to go back to work here in just a minute. Yeah, when we looked at the whole picture of what happened, we feel like it probably was not a seizure that he was experiencing in those moments, but more just fatigue. So that's been, yeah, that was at the 1st of November. So I think we've reached the furthest point that we have since this all began a year ago. Well, now 2 years ago, 2 Mays ago, with this seizure disorder. So I'm hoping the doses we got him on now is where he needs to be, and hopefully we'll continue to keep him seizure free for quite a while. So so that's good. He's got a field trip coming up next week to the Children's Museum, away from here, about an hour away. So I'm not going on that trip. A lot of times I will go on the field trips just because my boys are special. They're so special. And they require a little bit more attention. So when there's field trips, usually mama has to go, or granny or somebody has to go. Because, you know, that's just the way it is. But I'm not going this time. And I think it's going to be okay. Teacher says they kind of lock the doors so kids can't elope. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it should be pretty fun. She also let me know that there is a gym that's for special needs kids, and that's actually in Bristol. I think it's Bristol, Virginia, not Bristol, Tennessee. But yeah, so there's a gym out there that is geared directly towards those special needs. So I want to look into that, and depending on the hours and the price and things like that, I'm going to see if we can maybe go out there. We got to go back that way anyways in June or July for the doctor. So that might be a trip for then as well. But yes, I'm going to check into that. I think it's called We Rock the Spectrum, I believe is what she said it was called. So you may want to check that out too if you're anywhere close to Bristol. You might be worthwhile checking into. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with things. I'm still trying to figure out ways to make these videos more presentable. I've been watching so many different ones. I've been even trying to do tutorials on the YouTube, watching those on how to make YouTubes so they look better, because I know nobody wants to look at those black bars, and I still haven't quite figured it out. I do the things it suggests, and it still doesn't work, so I'm still trying. So but that's so far in the year of 2023 that is going on. So hopefully this year goes well. Last year was not the best year financially in the world. And then when I was in Walmart earlier, I seen masks everywhere. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if people are just nervous, if, you know, I don't know. But I hadn't been seeing masks as often, and now I've seen them everywhere today. Like literally every other person had a mask on. And, you know, I don't know about where y'all are at, but locally, we hadn't been seeing that. It'd been many months since that many people were in public with masks on. And even when people were wearing masks, they were usually considerably elderly population, it would appear to be. So, but that was not the case today. It was all shapes and sizes and age and, you know, everything. So I ain't wearing one. I mean, I'm going with the knowledge God gave me. Okay, common sense. If I'm sick, I'm staying away from people. If my kids are sick, I'm keeping them away from people. I ain't bringing them out in public purposely. You know? So, I don't know. That's a whole big discussion, and I know YouTube is very sensitive about that anyways. But yeah, so I'm just like, you know, kind of easing into this year. Keeping my distance a little bit. But hopefully it goes better. But yeah, I'm hoping to really look into some things this year, like maybe grow my own garden again. Talking with my mom and dad about the possibility of going in together and raising some meat birds and some different things. So yeah, we're just going to see where this year takes us. I feel like there's a big shift coming, and you know, the times are just getting right that things may begin to happen. I'm a believer. So, you know, I feel like, you know, things are on the horizon. So I'm trying to be spiritually prepared as well as physically prepared. So yeah, so we'll see. There's a lot of things I want to do this year. I'm working more in the office now than I was. So that kind of takes away a lot of time at home. And that extra time is going to be used to try to prepare those things. So I don't know how it's going to go, but that's what I'd like to do. So y'all can come along with me on that journey. But I will be late for work if I don't end this soon. So y'all take care. Have a great day, and I will see you next time.